cakes and dropped them into hot oil. So he waited to eagerly eat because he was hungry. Then there was a knock at the door. A woman said she hadn't eaten in days. Poor people often stopped by the house because Mohammed's mother was known for giving away food, money, and even clothes her children had outgrown. He placed the pitha back on the plate. His mother smiled at him as the grateful woman and child ate every crumb. Mohammed Yunus was born on June 28, 1940, the third oldest of 9 children. His Bengali family lived in a 2-story house in the port city of Chittagong, then part of India. Chittagong was a bustling city with colorful rickshaws. Beggars wandered side by side with businessmen along the densely crowded streets. Mohammed and his siblings found many ways to have fun together. Education was very important to Mohammed's parents, and they made sure their children studied hard. Although his father was a successful jewelry maker, he had just an 8th grade education. His mother went to school only up to 4th grade, but she was passionate about reading and reciting epic stories to her children. The parents hoped their children would finish school and one day go to college. Dula Miat also encouraged his sons to explore the world by joining organizations such as the Boy Scouts. Learning from the world is the greatest learning, he told them. Mohammed liked being a Boy Scout, and I'm going to skip some pages to get it all to fit in, but he found a lot of benefits from being a Boy Scout. As he grew older, Mohammed wanted to continue helping those who were living in poverty. In 1957, at the age of 17, he enrolled in the Department of Economics at Dhaka University. Economics is the study of how people make and use money, goods, and services. Mohammed thought studying economics would teach him how to help the poor manage and save their money better. After graduating from Dhaka University, Mohammed became a research assistant and lecturer. In 1965, he won a prestigious Fulbright scholarship to study economics in the U.S. While in America, he witnessed college students holding peace rallies to show their opposition to the Vietnam War. They went on protest marches and held sit-ins, refusing to move until they were heard. Mohammed was greatly impressed by the students' belief that they could make a difference, and he remembered his father's words. He was truly learning from the world. In 1970, Mohammed accepted a teaching position at Middle Tennessee State University. Although he was happy in the U.S., he was worried about turmoil in his own country. The British rule ended. Chittagong became part of what is known as East Bengal and later East Pakistan. The region was home to a large Bengali population. Due to economic, political, and cultural differences, the people of East Pakistan wanted their independence from West Pakistan. There was a lot. Mohammed was one of the people who organized rallies on the university campus and in Washington, D.C. to demonstrate. Bangladesh eventually defeated Pakistan, and the brutal war was declared over on December 16, 1971. An estimated 300,000 people had been killed. Drought and famine devastated the newly country. Mohammed realized he needed to return to Bangladesh. In 1972, he set out for home and accepted a job as head of the economics department at Chittagong University. He saw firsthand how the people of his country were struggling and starving. Barefoot children and their parents trudged along dirt road toward the nearby fertile hills in desperate attempts to find food. Muhammad was frustrated by all of this poverty. Why was he teaching economics in the classroom when so many people in the village were suffering? Jobra became his new classroom. Over the next few days he interviewed many few years, so he could understand how they were surviving on very little. In 1976, Muhammad met a young woman named Sufaya Begum. Her children slept in a mud hut while she wove bamboo into beautiful stools. She was weak and thin from the lack of food, but the artistry of her work greatly impressed Muhammad. He figured out that she borrowed money every day to buy the materials she needed, but the interest from the money lenders was so high that she couldn't buy enough to buy the materials for the next stool. So the money lenders took advantage of her and charged the unfair high interest rate. So she was stuck in this cycle of poverty. Muhammad realized her life depended on just a few cents a day, and he could give her the money, but that wouldn't help in the end. She needed a way to learn to become self-sufficient. He wanted to solve her problem in the long run and break the cycle of poverty. So he went to a bank and he found 42 women who needed a total of 856 taka, or $27. He went to the bank to learn that they were known as banking untouchables because they were so poor, and the bank did not trust them to pay back the loan, and it was too small of an amount to loan them, so the bank refused. After being turned down by several banks, Muhammad decided to start a new bank. It was called Grameen Bank, which means village bank in the Bangla language. Borrowers could take out very small amounts of money with low interest rates. Borrows would be divided into groups of 5, and each group would borrow an agreed upon amount. Then the group members would work together to pay back their loan on time. Muhammad believed that placing borrowers in groups would create a support system by which an entire group would be responsible for the success of each member. At first, it was difficult for Muhammad and his students to get women to sign up for his bank's loan program. They did not understand how Muhammad's way of loaning money would be different. Sometimes they were hindered by the rules of purdah, a practice that does not allow women to be seen interacting with men who were not their husbands. So Muhammad would wait outside while his female students went to talk to the women to try to convince them how this program would be helpful to them. The patience and persistence paid off, and his students, they won the trust of women, and many of them signed up for Grameen Bank's loan program. At the bank, the women learned to manage their finance. Each group took a 7-day training course to learn how banking worked. Muhammad also created a set of important lessons, the 16 decisions, that the women had to memorize and follow. The lessons taught the women how to change their lives for the better by providing practical advice about positive habits such as drinking safely boiled water and making sure their children went to school. To be approved for a loan, each group had to pass a test showing that the women understood the loan program. The women studied very hard, and eventually everyone passed the test. Muhammad smiled as Sufaya clutched her group's loan of $27 as if it were a precious jewel. Sufaya used her share of the loan to buy ingredients to cook sweets and materials to decorate bangles that she could sell alongside her bamboo stools at the market. She earned even more money than before, which was enough to pay back her portion of the loan and still provide for her family. She beamed with pride when she bought rice for her children with her hard-earned money. Muhammad remembered the poor people who had stopped by his parents' house when he was a child. He remembered the homeless people and the slums he had seen when he was a Boy Scout, and the starving people of Jobra he saw each day on his way to Chittagong University, and he remembered the day he met Sufia. Muhammad was grateful that he had found a way to help poor create better lives for themselves. Muhammad soon became known as the banker of the poor. Over the years, Grameen banks loaned more than $10 billion in microcredit to almost 12 million people worldwide. 94% of the borrowers were women. In 2006, Muhammad Yunus and Grameen Bank were jointly awarded the Nobel Peace Prize. The prestigious award is given to an individual or group who has shown great courage in promoting peace in countries torn apart by political strife, poverty, and war. They were praised for their efforts to create economic and social development from below, and for showing that even the poorest of the poor can work to bring about their own development. In his Nobel Peace Prize acceptance speech, Muhammad declared, "This year's prize gives highest honor and dignity to the hundreds of millions of women all around the world who struggle every day to make a living and bring hope for a better life for their children. This is a historic moment for them. From helping one woman pay back her loan of 22 cents to providing billions of dollars in microcredit around the world, Muhammad Yunus has never stopped fighting for the poor. He still dreams of making the world a better place, a place where no woman, man, or child goes hungry. He still dreams of a world without poverty." So I will try to put this to where you can read it if you would like more information. And I somehow skipped the part I didn't want to skip, but I was afraid of getting it in my time frame. Muhammad studied on a Fulbright Fellow, which is important to us because of the Fulbright College. Fulbright was president of the university. He was an Arkansas senator, and he started the Fulbright Exchange Program. So I think that that is a very cool connection. Sorry about skipping through some parts, but I have a 15-minute limit on my free video. I hope you enjoy the book.